Our adventure began at the Alaska Railroad Station in Anchorage. This Art Deco building was our jumping off point for a 233-mile trip north to Denali National Park and Mount McKinley, North America's highest peak. We traveled north in a dome car with 360-degree views of Alaska's magnificent scenery. We would cross many rivers on our journey to Denali.
Right now we are crossing over the Susitna River. This is that river that we have been following.
For hundreds of miles, the tracks were lined with bright purple fireweed. There, our first view of Mount McKinley, the peak covered in clouds. This massive mountain is still over 140 miles away. The train slowed dramatically as we passed over Hurricane Gulch, named for hurricane-force winds that can barrel down this canyon. The slow train affords everyone a view, but perched 300 feet above the river on narrow rails on a 90-year-old bridge is a bit nerve-wracking. The conductor joked that the bridge is checked twice a day when the north and southbound passenger trains cross over it. The engine signals we are safely across, and we pick up speed. And there's a bald eagle, the first of many we will see along the tracks. As the hours pass, you are reminded of the vastness of Alaska, where nature rules and man is the guest. Seven and a half hours and 233 miles. We arrive at Denali Station, the gateway to the park.
Denali National Park is very large, the size of Massachusetts, with only one narrow gravel road and no guardrails. Today we're going 90 miles into the park to a backcountry lodge, literally at the end of the road. We're hoping to see great views of Mount McKinley and lots of wildlife along the way. It's not too long before we spot our first wildlife, grizzlies, although they're still at quite a distance. And then, much closer, a huge male forages only 35 feet away, searching for new summer berries. On the other side of the bus, another grizzly, and this is just the beginning. Along a distant ridge, Dall sheep come into view. They live on impossibly rocky slopes and narrow ridges, so predators have a harder time finding them. Almost camouflaged against the hillside, a caribou grazes quietly nearby. Around another corner, suddenly we see a wolf rolling around on its back. It doesn't seem too threatening, but don't let that fool you. And then the ultimate up-close and personal experience, a female grizzly and her 1-year-old cub. Remember, keep all hands and body parts inside the bus. Wow. Even in this rugged, moody terrain, wildflowers do manage to flourish for a very short summer season. As we approach the end of the road, we get an escort, a young male grizzly in absolutely no hurry to let us pass. As we complete our 8-hour journey, our lodge comes into view. The Denali Backcountry Lodge, for being so remote, is surprisingly comfortable. It's located on Moose Creek, and we had a nice cabin close by. In 1903, gold was discovered in this creek. A nearby miner's tent shows how primitive the conditions were. Imagine an Alaskan winter in this. We had intended to take a long hike into the backcountry, but after seeing so many grizzlies in the area, we stayed close to the lodge and hiked to nearby Blueberry Hill. This was late July, and the blueberries were just ripening. Wait a minute, don't grizzlies like blueberries? Nearby is Wonder Lake. The lake gets its name because of the truly awesome views of Mount McKinley. At 20,320 feet, it's the highest peak in North America, but it only shows itself 20% of the time. Oh well. What an amazing experience we've had in Denali National Park, deep in the natural world, and memories to last a lifetime.